So I got a shot in my butt. I've never had a shot in my butt before that I can recall. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're doing another pregnancy update. Today's is weeks 27 and 28, so just keep watching to find out the latest details about my pregnancy. So that's right, I'm currently 29 weeks pregnant. We're talking about weeks 27 and 28. I'm to the point in my pregnancy now that I'm forgetting frequently what week in pregnancy I am, because it's just so high up there now that I'm literally like, am I 28 weeks? Am I 29 weeks? I keep forgetting. I'm 29 weeks and this is 27 and 28 update. So as always, let's start with the size of the baby and some stats. Week 27, the baby was as big as lettuce. There's a lot of different kinds of lettuce, but the picture looks like romaine lettuce. It says that baby is 14.4 inches and 1.93 pounds. And then in week 28, the baby turns into an eggplant at 14.8 inches and 2.2 pounds. So as of week 28, the baby is officially in the 2-pound range. And as of week 28, I'm officially in my 3rd trimester. This has been the fastest 6 months of my life. I cannot believe I'm already in the 3rd trimester. It has just flown by. So in terms of, we'll say week 27, the brain's getting more complex. Baby's practicing inhaling and exhaling. And in week 28, the baby is starting to develop more fat, which is why those pounds are starting to pack on. The lungs are now mature enough that if born, he would probably survive, which is amazing that we're at that point. Pretty much for me, what it says to expect is trouble sleeping, shortness of breath, aches and pains, Braxton Hicks, and leaky boobs. I haven't had any sort of leaky boobs yet. That is one symptom I have not had, but everything else on that list is pretty accurate. I really haven't had much new in the last 2 weeks, aside from an increase in pain. I'm doing so much better now. I don't know if I just had like a growth spurt or something. My body was just going through some changes, but I had about a week to a week and a half there where I was having such bad back pain. It was horrible. It was keeping me up at night. It was really, really low and deep, and it was just so bad. It's so much better now. I mentioned it to my midwife at my appointment, which I'll talk more about here in a little bit, and she said that it's totally normal to feel back pain like that down low. She said it might last through the rest of your pregnancy, or maybe your hips are widening, your joints are loosening, things are happening at this point in time that's making it particularly bad. And it seems that that's how it is, because my back still hurts, but it's nowhere near like it was. Like, it's so much better. So that's good, but I don't expect to be pain-free, you know, the rest of the pregnancy. I'm sure I'll have more back pain at some point. My ribs still hurt, like I've talked about before, and I'm still having trouble sleeping, though it is better than that week I was having so much pain. So I will take any sort of improvement in terms of pain and sleep that I can get. So I'm doing pretty good right now. Shortness of breath is definitely still very real. I have the occasional Braxton Hicks contraction, nothing crazy. My stomach is pretty much hard and tight like all the time, but I think that's just because my skin is getting so thin now and stretched out. Something that's not new but changed is his movements are now so strong that like all movements are visible from the outside, and some of them are insane. Like, I was sitting in a waiting room yesterday and I could see him just like doing crazy things, and I'm like, this person next to me probably thinks I have a straight up alien inside me, because the movements were so big and very obvious. And I was like, oh yeah, that's just my crazy child. He moves like crazy and they are strong. Some of them are very painful because they're like quick punches or kicks. And he's just like a very, very wiggly kid. It's funny because like the whole pregnancy up until recently, I thought he had like a very calm demeanor. I just like sensed that about him. But I'm starting to second guess that, and I think I might have a wild child based on how crazy he's been lately. One other symptom that's not really a symptom, but it's just something I thought I would note, is really random and something I would have never even thought about. But I have started to get like really chafed / right here, like rash. It just kind of hurts because my belly skin is now touching my bra, where I've never had that happen before. Like, my belly has never been so protruding out and high to the point where it like rubs on my bra, especially if I'm sitting like right now, it's just rubbing there. And so that's a new thing that is so random. I never even would have thought about, is that I'm getting really sore and chafed where my bra meets my belly. It's definitely random, but something that is definitely caused by pregnancy. So I thought I would mention it. That's really it in terms of symptoms, other than I just keep growing, obviously, which is good. And everything else has stayed pretty consistent. I did have a midwife appointment last week, so I already forget. 28, yeah. I had a midwife appointment in week 28. It was pretty standard. Again, she checked the fundal height. Everything is measuring perfectly on track. I was like exactly 28 centimeters, which it should be. The number of centimeters is equal to your number of weeks. I had turned 28 weeks the day before my appointment, and I was like exactly 28 centimeters. So I was perfect in terms of that. My midwife was laughing because he was being so wiggly that while she was checking everything and feeling my stomach and just making sure everything felt good, that he was just going crazy. And she said it feels like he's pretty much head down, which he was in his 19-week ultrasound, so I think he has stayed that way since then. So hopefully he stays that way till the end. Everything else looked great. My blood pressure, all my labs, because we did other lab work along with the diabetes test, all of that came back in and everything looked good. The only thing that was a little out of the ordinary for this appointment is that I had to get a RhoGAM shot. Probably most of you won't have to do this. I am Rh negative, so I have a negative blood type. So if you have a negative blood type and your husband has a positive blood type, or you don't know, like, we got Ben's blood tested, I swear, during all of our fertility stuff, but I couldn't find those results anywhere, and neither of us could remember what his blood type is, so we don't know. So you're supposed to assume the father is positive, and you're supposed to get a shot. It basically has to do with like the antibodies in your blood once they mix with the babies, which obviously your blood doesn't mix with the babies during pregnancy, but once birth happens, your blood does mix. That if you have a negative blood type and the baby has positive blood type, there's antibodies that can like cause all kinds of trouble. So I had to get a shot because I am Rh negative. My sister's Rh negative, my mom is Rh negative, so I kind of thought that I would be, and they did test me way earlier in pregnancy. It's one of the first tests they do, and then they want to confirm it again, which is what they did. And so obviously both of mine said negative. So around week 28, you get a shot, and then you get more again after birth if your baby's blood type is positive. So I got a shot in my butt. I've never had a shot in my butt before that I can recall, but it was fine. It really wasn't painful at all. I wasn't even sore afterwards. Like, some shots can leave you really sore. It was totally easy peasy, no big deal. So I'm curious if anybody else is Rh negative, because it is kind of rare, and my midwife is saying that more often than not, baby's blood type is positive. So I find it really interesting that my mom is negative, I'm negative, and my sister was negative. So I'm curious to see what. I almost just said his name. Which I could have edited out, but I still almost just said it. I'm curious what baby will be. Speaking of name, I think I've come up with an idea for how I want to do the reveal, and so that should be coming really soon. I think, don't hold me to this, I'm still deciding, but I'm pretty sure that I want to reveal his name before my baby shower, which is the 21st of April. Because I'm gonna have a couple of things there that have his name on it, and I want to do a video showing you guys all the details of my baby shower, and rather than not showing those details, I think I'd rather just tell you guys beforehand, but that's still to be determined, so you'll just have to wait and see. Back to my midwife appointment, she said, which always makes you feel good as a first-time mom, because everything is just like, you just don't know if you're doing things right. She said, whatever you're doing, keep doing, because everything looks absolutely perfect. So that was just very reassuring. We just got to get through this last trimester of everything being perfect, and then hopefully my labor, delivery, and everything will go really smoothly. If everything continues like this, then I have had a very fortunate pregnancy, because things have been easy in comparison to what some other people go through. There's been no complications, nothing scary at all. So I'm incredibly thankful to have had a very easy pregnancy. And now I'm officially to the point in my pregnancy where I am seeing my midwife every 2 weeks instead of every 4. So now I have another appointment next week. And I think that's gonna be it for today's update. Stay tuned to the end. As always, I'll show you my belly. If you liked this video, then make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, especially if you want to see the name reveal, which is coming soon. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Here's the belly. It's big and round. It's literally like a basketball. Looks like a little watermelon.